Peace, peace, peace to the Tantra gods and goddesses, and the Aborigines in North America. Okay, now I want to make a video, right? I'm gonna give you some sources that some of the information where I got a lot of information from, and I just want you guys to know, right? There is no complete detail writing that's going to tell you that African Americans are not Africans or African Americans are the Aborigines of America. You gotta use your freaking sense to understand this, okay? Like I said, and the first thing you have to understand is this, right? Let's deal with history real quick, all right? And this is for everybody, right? This is just the introduction into this shit or into this lesson or whatever, right? The first thing you got to understand what we're being taught, we told that the first slaves arrived in the United States in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. Okay? With that being in mind, let's keep that right there. They tell you that the people who was brought here to be slaves was lifetime servants. Now they said that it was lifetime servants, that they was mating you, they was raping your ancestors, and all this horrific stuff that we heard. Okay. Um. Then they told you that in 1865 Lincoln emancipated you. Okay. So now let's tear apart that official story, right? So now you're told that wasn't nobody here, and the people who were here, they killed most of them off, and the rest of them they basically trapped off into reservations and gave some of these so-called tribes some reparations, right? They told that the people who was the descendants of the slaves was free or whatever and everything else. All right. So first of all, when we understand the story, we understand that the word slave means Slavic. Okay, now I made a video about this. All right, so everybody should be up on the etymology dictionary. You understand? And like I said, I just want to put this out there. Wasn't nobody using etymology dictionaries until Taj Tariq Bey he started talking about it. So I just want to put that out there too. A lot of people claim they knew about etymology and all this stuff, but all this stuff just surfaced now. A lot of people just learn about the etymology, and like I said, I learned a lot of the science from the Moors. I learned a lot of the science from the Moors. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, don't hate me for me saying that I went through more science or that I do consider myself to be a Moor. I rather call myself a Moor than call myself black or Negro. Yeah, I'm an Aborigine in North America, but yes, I can still say I'm a Moor, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? So the etymology dictionary is what I got from Taj Tariq Bey. We was studying the etymology dictionary like 12 years ago. But nonetheless, though, right? All right. The etymology dictionary, we know the word slave stand for Slav. We know the people Slav was the chattel property. You know, there's a lot of stories or whatever dealing with that. But there's no complete understanding of what really took place here on this land. There's no complete understanding. I have watched thousands of videos. I have read hundreds of books. Like, I mean, well, not hundreds of books on this topic, but I have read a lot of stuff to where it had connected dots into where I got a lot of my understanding from. I don't know everything. I don't know. I don't have a methodology of how I put this together. But my main methodology is when I seen that book by Arnoldas Martinez and when I read the definition of American, that right there did it for me. That did it for me. That was with all the information that I got. So, all right. So let me put some of the sources out there I got. All right. So I'm gonna put the book sources out first. Then I'm gonna put some of the sources that I got that's on YouTube that you guys can check out. All right. So these are some of the sources that I got from my boy Ducatis. All right. The first one. They was white and they were slaves, you know, by Michael Hoffman. The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War. Black Confederacy. John Drew. White Cargo. when nations gather, um, the African presence in early America, um, the early Europe. No, well, I mean, disregard that one. The diplomatic relations between America and the Barbary nations. Um, the nigger, the Negro, and the Moor. And if you want to cop, definitely cop the Duke of Tears book, The Dark Scars 418, the Duke of Tears. All right, them are some of the sources I got from him. Now you also got Ali Muhammad. Okay, Ali Muhammad. He got the Aboriginal media. He be on YouTube, but he also got I guess he got like his own tribe or whatever though. But Ali Muhammad he got a book too. So definitely check out Ali Muhammad, as well as Ali Muhammad got a good YouTube video. It's called I guess the Armor Wukan. He explains the Armor Wukan, but definitely look up Ali Muhammad on YouTube. And he got a good video of how he breaking stuff down or whatever. All right. So you got Ivan Van Sertima. They came before Columbus. You got Dr. Imhotep. The first American was Africans. You got Jack Forbes. Well, I forgot what Jack Forbes' book is. Native Americans and Africans or something like that. You got a couple other books out there that's kind of eluding me right now. Definitely When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler. Taj Tariq Bey got some good books about us being indigenous to this land. It's a couple other people, but as far as like some of the literature, the people who I really got a lot of information and a lot of stuff where I connected the dots from is the people like my Facebook community, the YouTube community. You know, I got a lot of additional things from them. So understand, this research is not something you're going to do in 1 year. You're not going to understand. I mean, if you overstand it already, that's good. But for anybody that came into this, like I came into, it took me almost 10 years to understand it. I went through well, shit, it took me longer than that though. But nonetheless, though, my first understanding when I went through it was that we had mongoloids in us, that we was mixed with them. Then once I really started understanding, hold up, the copper color races, the Aborigines, I'm like, hold up, man, these people don't call themselves that, so who the hell is them? And then to find out that there was the first contact people they found here was the copper colored people with wool-like hair, not no damn mongoloids. You know, so all right, YouTube, let's do the YouTube thing. Now, you know, I put it out there, Tyrone Street. You got Aborigine 1, you got Johnny Aborigine, you got Thousand Go Head, you got let me see, you got a new brother who I just started checking out. His name is Hiram Art. He got some good information. He got some wonderful information. The other brother get to the root of it. You got Dwayne Holloway, Dane Holloway. You got Different Narrative. You got Marvin Coleman. You got a couple. You got Dr. What is his name? Dr. Winters. Dr. Winters. He got some good information on there. I think his name is Dr. Clive Winters. Man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of people, man. Like I said, the Duke of Tears. You gotta listen to to what Taj Tariq Bey and them say, because it's all connections to all this, man. Like I said, I learned a lot of information, and I just started thinking for myself with this. I can't put everything together. I can't give you a proper understanding, because it's still a lot of stuff that I don't understand. Like I don't understand. I know certain people who had slaves. Them slaves were their family members. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of black people had slaves, because they were trying to keep their family members from getting separated. And that's something that I never understood. And also, like when you read The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, when you read it, it tells you that the Cherokees are the ones who started the fucking Civil War. It tells you that both the Cherokee nations are the ones who basically started, because it was dealing with slavery. So I mean, like I said, it's a lot, man. And also definitely the Bible. Definitely get the Bible. Definitely, because Lex Will, he put this together from reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? He put this together from reading the Bible, and he got, and like I said, I got a lot of shit, a lot of stuff from him, man. Like when he really started breaking it down. But I'm trying to focus now on North America. Okay, we went around Americas, all the different parts of Americas, the Caribbeans, all these different, the Pacific Island, the Melanesia. Now let's focus on North America because this is where we from, and we need to figure out what happened here. But yeah, man, like I said, and also I know this Montanez. Also read what Herman D. Santos said. Giovanni Verrazzano. They got logs and what they read and what the people looked at like when they got here. Now, like I said, the original narrative is they brought people over here. Wasn't supposed to be no other people over here that looked at like the so-called slaves that they brought here. Okay? Now I'm finding out that some of the people that they brought, that the people was here already had afros. Now, when I started thinking about Native Americans, you always think about, oh, like they might have two braids in their hair and their hair might be straight. That's some of them. That's some of them. But some of these pictures I got afros, bro, or curly, like little curly afros. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't show you that. They don't tell you that the definition of American refers to the Aborigines or copper color races. Why don't they tell you that? Okay, why don't they tell you that there's pyramids in America? They're telling you, if you already think that the Indians built the pyramids in America, why are they not telling you about it? Why is why are they lying about it? You know, all right, so just think about it like this, right? All right, if we find out pyramids in America, we're going to automatically, for those who don't know about the Aborigines, going to automatically make the assumption that these pyramids was built by the Native Americans. Right? This is what you automatically going to make the assumption. So now the next assumption will be this. Well, if they was made by the Native Americans, then why are you hiding them? Why are you not telling people that there's pyramids throughout America? And that was something that really like, yo, and like I said, also, um, David, what is my man name? David Childress. David Childress on Coast to Coast. He got a lot of information on Americans, but he never tells nobody exactly like what the phenotypical or the ethnicity of these people are. He'll put it out there, he'll give you descriptions or whatever, but he won't tell you what their skin color was like. You understand? He won't tell you none of that stuff. And then in some of his stories, he makes the assumption that some of these people was Europeans, and we know that that's definitely not true. So, like I said, them are some of the sources dealing with the Americas. You know, you got to also look up a lot of the different tribes of the East Coast, like the Lenape, the Wapanaki, the Pinqua. Them are a lot of the first contact tribes that was on the East Coast. All right, so you know when you hear about Pahata, you hit what? No, I don't think his name Pahata. Whatever the Indian start with the S, Shank something. The Indian that they took, supposedly they took from over here to Europe. Now the thing I say with this, right? My thing is this: if they took Indians, right, from here to Europe, it should be an Indian community somewhere in Europe, right? But unfortunately, you can't find no Indian community in Europe because the Indian community are these Aborigines. That's why when you look in Europe, you see these copper-colored people. Everybody is not very dark-skinned like African. And what I mean is, I'm not saying that we light-skinned. A lot of us, like I said, chestnut brown, but you know what the Americans look like. I can tell the difference from an African and American now. I can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, them are some of the sources, man. Definitely check out some of these people if you really want to get to the truth of these things, man. Like I said, and then also subscribe to on Facebook, man. African Americans ain't Africans. Everyday people putting excellent information up there that's connecting us and connecting the roots. Like I said, there is no straight path There's no straight path to this thing because these people that hid this stuff so good from us to the point to where we sitting here gathering up information and gathering up literature, and we're trying to put it together. So just know that the original story in which they tell you about so-called people being brought here and then they killed off the Indians is not even true. You understand? So that right there shows you the deception. Why are you deceiving us by telling us this story not even true? So who was here? So look at your people too. But look at African Americans and look at the difference from them and African. Look at your people. Ask, are you an African American? Okay, and when you ask them that, 9 times out of 10, most people going to say, "Yeah, I'm an African American." Then you can really have a great conversation with that individual or whatever, and you can have a different conversation than you would with any other black ethnicity that's in North America. You know, I mean, I'm saying with the exception of the Jamaicans and the Haitians because they went through hell too or whatever. So definitely, man, check out them sources. Them are some sources. The next time I'm gonna write it down. I did this kind of like off the head or whatever, but the next time I will write it down and I will have more sources for you guys. All right. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace to you. Peace to the guys, the goddesses. I'm out. Peace.